right, so you're thinking about relocating to Boise, Idaho, and the thing that's on your mind is it the right time to buy? Well, I'm not the normal cast of characters that does these videos. It's actually Rachel, but Rachel unfortunately is out sick this week, so she didn't want to leave you guys high and dry. And she asked me if I would specifically talk to you guys about what is going on with the real estate market here in the Treasure Valley in the year 2025. So is now a good time to buy? Well, I always do these videos with Rachel every single year as we head into the new year because there is so much negativity on the internet with these quote unquote doom and gloom videos that are talking about the market crashing, collapsing, falling apart, that next year is going to be the best time to buy. Well, I've been in the real estate industry for now nearly a decade, and every single year I consistently hear the same messaging. What happened back in 2008 was led by really bad lending practices. The way that they measure lending regulations is on a scale from 100 to 1,000. 100 being the most lenient, 1,000 being the most strict. Well, from 2000 to 2005, that scale was actually at the high 100 level, so about 183. That basically meant, and you probably know people that did this, is they bought a house and then they refinanced it and they got an adjustable rate mortgage, and every year that rate went up 1%. So you got the rate started at 2%, it went to 3, then to 4, then to 5, then to 6, then to 7. And by the time it hit 7, their whole idea was that they were either gonna sell the house or refinance it, and they were really using their house as a piggy bank. Well, the unfortunate part is that the values didn't keep going up, and the only reason that the values were going up during that time is because everyone had all of this access to cash. The key difference between that and today is that when people were getting loans in 2020, 2021, they were fixed rates. What that means is that they were refinancing into mortgages that were actually locked in for 30-year terms. So right now, the inventory is actually controlling the pricing in the markets. There's an actual factual stat out there that 30% of all homeowners own their house free and clear. They have no mortgage, 30%. And 70% of all of the homeowners that actually have a mortgage have a rate lower than 4%. So yes, as inflation is consistently going up, it is actually the people that have equity in their house and they have low mortgage payments aren't concerned about the price of their house actually going up like we saw in 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which created the crash. Because by the time they got to the end of their adjustable rate, they tried to sell and it flooded the market with inventory. Now, we have seen in 2024, around the October period, the Fed made this big rate cut announcement, and everyone thought the rates were going to come down and it was going to flood the market with buyers and it would cause the price of homes to skyrocket. Well, what happened is it didn't create the mortgage rates to drop, even though the feds or the banks did adjust the rates based on that Fed rate cut. There's two different rates. There's the bank rate and the Fed rate. They are not directly related. And that's what everyone thinks. They hear Fed rate cut, they automatically think mortgage rate cuts. So people get excited. So what we saw in October is we actually saw a little burst of inventory because these sellers with really low rates thought they were going to be able to go out and buy another house and sell their current house and get another low rate. Well, guess what happened? That only lasted for like a week. It actually put a little bit more inventory onto the market and it created a little mini buyer's market in the middle of October 2024. Now, I said at the end of 2022 that we were going to be at the bottom of the market in 2023. And that's exactly what we saw happen. In 2022, the median house sales price here in the Treasure Valley was $570,000. The median sales price at the end of 2023 was $525,000. So the market actually declined about 8%. Fast forward to 2024, guess where we ended up? Median sales price was $545,000. So we saw an increase from 2023 to 2024 of 3.5%. The good news is that still right now, we still have a lot of opportunity and builders giving incentives. Now, I read all the comments. I see exactly what everyone's saying. They say the builders are offering all these incentives because they're flooded with inventory. The way that we measure inventory is called days of market or days of supply. Anything below 4 months of inventory is a seller's market. 4 to 6 months of inventory is a balanced market. 6 months and above is a buyer's market. Guess where we are today? We are actually sitting at 2.3 months of inventory. Last year we were at 2.1 months. So you might be asking yourself, how is the inventory rate going up, but the price of homes are going up as well? Well, that is what we call real estate 101. As long as we are in a seller's market, the price of homes are going to consistently go up because the more buyers that come into the pool, they buy houses, they create competition, there's multiple offers, and it consistently brings up the price on real estate. Now, what does that months of inventory actually mean? If we have 2.3 months of inventory, that means if we stop listing houses today, it would take 2.3 months to clear out all the inventory based on the current absorption rate. The reason that number is still significantly low is because the builders and the homeowners that have great rates are not flooding the market with inventory because of, like I mentioned before, what happened in 2008. Everyone is so petrified of what happened back then that they learned a harsh lesson. A lot of houses were going into foreclosure and all the things. If you guys remember during COVID, they issued forbearance. They issued forbearance to like 800,000 people. Now, the thing is even if all 800,000 people went into foreclosure, we would have needed that number to quadruple to even see an influx of inventory into the marketplace because we realistically have still such a low number of homes available on the market. Now, the reason that the builders are offering incentives is because they want to keep their inventory flowing through. So they're incentivizing people to buy their product, which is good for them because here's the thing. When a builder builds their home, they have what they call a construction loan. As soon as they get the certificate of occupancy for that home, they move straight to an interest-only loan. So the longer that house sits on the market, the less profitable they are. So they know, and they're so intelligent with this, that they're better off offering these incentives for people to buy their houses as soon as they become available than sitting on the market. And here's the thing, builders never decrease the price of their homes. It's very rare that that ever happens. I shouldn't say never, but it's probably, a 1% chance. And when I look at the price of homes, I said that number went up 3.48% versus last year, and we're still below the height, which was in 2022. The new construction homes are actually only up about 1%, where the resale homes are up about 4%. So resale here is actually significantly more competitive than the new construction. The thing is when buyers are relocating here, and that's probably you that's watching this video, is a lot of our buyers actually love new construction because they get the incentives and they can move right into a beautiful, custom built, brand new construction home. And we have a great reputation and a great relationship with the builders in all of the Treasure Valley. And that's why we are Boise, Idaho's #1 relocation team. And it's exactly why so many people like yourself reach out and give us a call, because we have those relationships. We want you to get the best deals. And the other thing is, you probably know that buyers are now required to pay their buyer's agent. It's no longer preset by the listing agent. The good news is right here in the Treasure Valley, the builders are still able to pay that buyer's agent concession for you. So that means you don't have to pay that fee, and the builders are working with the agents. They sent out a beautiful letter to all the agents saying, we appreciate agents. We have to work together so that way we create a win-win for the builder and for the consumer. Now, when we talk about home sales specifically and the volume of home sales, you guys, our market actually peaked here in 2020. And there was a massive run up from 2016. You probably may or may not know this, that Meridian, Idaho was actually the #1 growing city in the United States for 4 years in a row. So we were already on a massive trajectory of growth when COVID struck. And when I look back at the stats from 2016, there was 9,743 homes sold in 2016. And the median home price point in 16 was 244,000. That's absolutely insane. In 2020, 11,400 homes sold, and the median price point was 389,000. So they grew about $140,000 in value. Fast forward to 2024, there was 7,623 homes sold, and the median price point was nearly $550. Now here's the thing, in 2025, they're projecting a 12% growth in valuation of homes right here in the Treasure Valley. That means a house that's priced at $900,000 is gonna be worth about $1.05 million in 12 months. Now, that doesn't mean the builder is going to creep up the price. That just means, and that doesn't even mean that that house specifically is going to grow 12%. That's just they're saying that the median price is going to grow 12%. Depending on where you buy and what you buy is going to dictate the growth value of that home in the long run. Here's the thing that I always say. Is it the perfect time for you to buy? The answer to that question is it depends on what your needs are. Last year, Rachel and I bought about 9 homes. Did we buy them in the wintertime when it was the best time to buy? The answer is 1, maybe 2, but we did buy another primary home in the middle of the springtime, which was in peak season. It's because the right house came up that we wanted and we pulled the trigger then. So the true answer to that question, is it the right time to buy? The answer is it always depends on what you're trying to get accomplished with your real estate journey. And here's the other thing is, I'm not gonna say that a house like this, which is brand new construction and available at $1.1 million, has a beautiful double RV bay. I'm not here to say that this house is gonna be worth $1.2 million next year. Housing is very, very fickle, and in the short run, I never know what's gonna happen. I can tell based on inventory and interest rates that I feel that the market's very stable right now, but are we gonna see another massive influx like we saw during COVID where they dump rates and the house prices go crazy? I have no idea. We can't control that. The only thing that we know is that over the course of the next 5 and 10 years, real estate prices will always increase no matter what the markets are. We've had, 5 recessions in the history of America, and only one time, which was the housing market crash that caused the recession, did the valuations of homes actually go down. The interesting thing is when recessions hit, housing prices actually increase, because what happens is the number one thing that most people want to pay when they start feeling the pain in their pockets is their mortgage. So they all settle down, they hunker down, and they create action plans to keep their money tight in their pockets. Now, here's the thing. I personally buy a lot of foreclosure homes. I have never gone to the auction here in the last year and saw a house actually go through. Yes, houses make it to the actual auction block, but the homeowner always comes to the table with the money that's owed. It's absolutely crazy. I look at other states like Oregon, where I buy most of my foreclosure homes, and today I looked at the list and there was over 80 houses this week on the auction list. That's still down significantly versus 2000 and say 2009, 2010, which you saw massive floods of inventory of foreclosures. I always tell our clients is, if you're looking for a house like that, go onto the Redfin, go onto Zillow, go onto our search app, and just see how many foreclosure homes you actually see. The answer is going to be you see absolutely 0. And if you look at a place like auction.com, those are so competitive. They always sell over the value of the home because everyone thinks they're getting a deal when they're really not. And those are ones that are already fully cleared out. They've had all of their liens, so they're free and clear of all encumbrances. And those are just not a great deal in my opinion. So if you are looking for a new construction home with great incentives, and the price is where the price is, like I said, we're right at 545 is our median price point. In 2022, it was 570. People keep saying next year the price is going to go down. Next year the price is going to go down. You're never going to see the price fall off a cliff. So even if we cut that price in half, 545 divided by 2, it's still going to be higher than it was in 2016. So if you bought in 2016, guess what? The value of your home would have doubled. So that's what I keep saying is every 10 years, typically the housing prices 10 to 15 years always double. And that's exactly what we see here. And people will say, well, the pricing isn't sustainable. The pricing isn't sustainable. Well, when I look at the list here in the last couple of years, we're not growing crazy. Last year we grew 3.48%. That's a stable real estate market, and that's exactly what we want to see. If interest rates drop and we see a massive influx, guess what? It's going to suck out all this inventory. We're going to end right back up into multiple offer situations, and it's the inventory that controls the market. And the rates is what dumps fuel on that fire. So there's always a perfect timing if you are looking for the best deal. Now, you only have about a 30 to 60 day window to take advantage of those prices, because what happens, let's say the interest rates drop today they're in the mid 6s, and say they went down to 4. Everybody would have to go out and get pre-approved and get ready and start shopping, right? This is why it's so important to reach out to us early, so that way we are working with a lender. We have all your finances in order. You have everything lined up. So in case that opportunity does arise, we can pull the trigger when you're ready, because you'll have about 30, maybe 60 days to get ahead of the markets when everyone else comes rushing in. So all you have to do to get ready is reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. When you reach out to us, that doesn't mean you're buying with us. That doesn't mean you're locked into working with us. None of those things. We sell from the outside in. That means first we want to make sure that we have everything in order. Then we want to understand what type of area you're looking to move into. Then we want to narrow down to the city, then the community, then the street, and then lastly is the house. Unfortunately, we get a lot of people that reach out when they get here and they start driving around and then they're like, hey Jesse, hey Rachel, hey Nate, we're here. We can't find out exactly where we want to go. And I've done that too. I've moved all over the country. And when I used to fly into towns, I would look at my app, I'd look at this house, and then I'd show up and it'd be a gated community and I couldn't get in. Then I would look at the next one and I'd drive 5 miles and I'd drive 5 miles back to the house I was just at. And it was just a complete mess. We have this so locked down for you. It'll make your trip so easy. And we have a lot of clients that are coming out here over the next couple months that we've set up self-guided tours. So when they show up, we've preset them a list of communities they're gonna stop by. They're gonna stop by restaurants. They're gonna go to shopping complexes. They're gonna go to community centers, lots of different things. That's what we absolutely love doing. So I hope you guys have a fantastic year and we look forward to helping you into the future. And if you like everything that you've seen behind me in this house, go ahead and click on this video right here. And until next time, be blessed.